Basically what we can see here is she just pulled in her car, and over here we're going to see a man kind of step out of the shadows as she gets out behind her car, and he's walking pretty quickly, and then he all of a sudden focuses on her. I don't know if this was a crime of opportunity. He happened to be armed. He shoves her. She's trying to imagine what's going on. She's trying to figure it out. He's threatening her, and now at this point she gets inside the car here, and he follows her in.
Hey, this is Glenn from selfdefenseadvisor.com, and I just want to talk to you about a couple of options in case somebody comes up to you when you're out in public and you're alone or you're with your kids. In the video that I showed previous to this was a woman down in Birmingham, Alabama that had been taken hostage by somebody, and the guy just walked up to her, shoved her, intimidated her, got her into her car, and drove away with her and held her captive for about 9 hours before the police found out where she was and went and saved her. That doesn't happen all the time, and you're responsible for your personal safety, and I see it as my job to kind of help you with that. So let's talk about a couple of things that happened during this incident. First thing was that she was behind her car doing something. She wasn't necessarily paying attention to what was going on. He came up behind her, shoved her, she moved forward this way, and then turned around and was face to face with this person. Now he was still a good couple of feet away, and she had a couple of options. She could have turned around and started running away. She could have backed up, telling him to stay back, creating distance, getting attention from people around, because there were actually a lot of people around. But this particular person had a gun in this situation. Now, what if the person comes up behind you, shoves you, starts giving you orders, and doesn't have any weapon at all? Well, better for you. Even if they do have a weapon, you're still in a public place. A lot of time weapons are used for intimidation purposes to try to get you somewhere else. But what happened in this situation was she listened to him. He was giving her orders, so she went over to the car, opened up the door, and sat in the car. Now what he did was he stood here, and then he made her get over to the driver's seat and made her drive. Now, something a lot of people don't even think about that you could do is simply moving in, cooperating. Okay, I'll do exactly what you want. Move over, look for your keys, and as you're doing that, open the door, get out, and run away. You're just simply moving through the cab. And a lot of the videos that we've seen on the news lately, where a woman's being abducted, that's a very simple thing. All she needs to do is get in and move across. Now, I don't know if you held onto her arm, if you grabbed her hair, or did anything like that, but the thing is, you don't want to get here. You don't want to get into this car right here, because once you're in here, you're basically going where he wants you to go, and you're stuck. So, what are some options we have? Well, some options we have are empty-hand tactics. One is, there's 20 different things we can do to this person, but the thing is prior planning, knowing what you're going to do. First thing I would like you to think about is grabbing onto the bad guy. Boom, grabbing on. Notice I'm not gingerly holding on to him. I just seized his neck, I grabbed on. Reason for this is because bad people don't expect that to happen. So I grab onto the neck, brachial stun, that causes disruption in the nerves, and it causes the brain to kind of go haywire for a couple of seconds while you stun him and then begin going to work. And what I mean by going to work is you have weapons attached to your body at all points, starting with your head and working on the way down. Once you seize him, he's yours. You can pull him into your shoulder, you can take your head, pull him into your head. Now if I just take my head a little bit and smash it into his nose, that's going to hurt severely. Him, not me, because I got a hard head and you probably do too. So that's one technique. Another technique is just taking my elbow, making it parallel with the ground, and using my body kind of in a twisting motion. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to seize, pull into the face. No! No! As he falls backward, I'm going to create distance and I'm going to flee. I'm not going to get into my car. I'm not going to try to drive away. I'm going to flee. Now, the only time I would get into my car is if we were in an isolated area and that's the only thing I could do while he's down and I could get away. If there are people around, I would go and try to get help from the people. A lot of things you can do are you have your head, your elbow. You've also got a knee. Once you're in here, you just pull him in real tight, bring that knee up into his groin. Great technique, very powerful. And I'm not just holding on to him, I'm kind of controlling his body here. Now, force is dynamic. You move around, he's moving around, he's trying to escape. Well, all you need to do is get that leg back. You're going to pull him into the ground. Okay? So now, with a little prior preparation, what we can do here is whip out a weapon. There's many different weapons that we have available to us. I like pepper spray, and the reason for that is because not only is it going to disable his eyes, disable his breathing, because what happens with the pepper is it goes into his system, he basically chokes and hacks. But I also have an impact weapon. Once I spray him, if I can get away, I'm going to do that. If I spray and he grabs, now I have an impact weapon. Smashing down on his nose again and again until he lets go. Notice I'm not just doing this. I'm bringing that elbow up, smashing down, pushing out of the way, and then I'm backing out and running for help. I have this available. Now, I don't know if you've ever been sprayed by pepper. Let me tell you, it hurts really, really bad. It only took me one time. I've never been sprayed with it again, except by other cops when we were fighting people. So pepper spray is a really great tool for pretty much anybody. The thing I like about it, nice concealable in the pocket. Pull it out when you have trouble. Boom, spray them in the eye, and you got your other weapons available too. Well, I hope you learned something valuable. If you have any questions, as always, you're welcome to email me at safetyspeaker@gmail.com or at the email that you received this through. Have a great day.